They thought it was just a cargo ship. Big, slow, ripe for the taking. Two skiffs, crammed with armed Somali pirates, surged across the dark waters of the Gulf of Aden at full throttle. Engines howled, waves split beneath their hulls. Ahead of them loomed a massive silhouette. No flag, no lights, just cold steel and silence. To a pirate, that usually means one thing: unescorted freight. They were wrong. In under 90 seconds, that silent shape revealed its true identity: a floating war fortress. Not just any US Navy ship, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. The kind that launches fighter jets before breakfast and carries more firepower than most nations. The pirates had AK-47s and RPGs. The carrier? It had 5,000 sailors, CRAM and CWAS cannons, radar-guided missiles, and a zero-tolerance policy for threats. What happened next wasn't a standoff. It wasn't even a fight. It was a brutal, one-sided lesson, starting with a warning and ending with weapons drawn and pirates face down on the deck of a rigid-hull inflatable boat, RHIB. Because this is what happens when you pick the wrong ship. The radar picked them up first. Two fast-moving blips. No AIS signal. Low profile. Approaching at speed. Inside the Combat Information Center of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, the system lit up. An operator called it out without hesitation. Contacts. Two small craft, bearing 85. Closing fast. In the Red Sea, that only means one thing: trouble. The officer of the deck didn't hesitate. He keyed into comms. Bridge to CIC, notify flight deck, launch Seahawk now. This wasn't a sleepy convoy. This was a fully armed strike group on patrol, and Ike was its nerve center. In less than 2 minutes, an MH-60R Seahawk spun its rotors and lifted off the deck, loaded with sensors, a door gunner, and enough surveillance gear to spot a tattoo from 5,000 feet. Meanwhile, sailors on the flight deck didn't pause. Yellow shirts cleared space, red shirts checked weapons, green shirts gave the signal for another bird on standby. Back inside CIC, a new report came in. Skiffs are splitting. One veering off, one heading straight for us. Classic pirate tactic: divide and confuse. The captain gave a single, cold command: maintain course, let them commit. The Seahawk made visual contact. The pilot's voice came over the radio. Hostile posture, visible armament. That was all the confirmation the Navy needed. A second Seahawk launched. Meanwhile, visit board search and seizure VBSS teams aboard the nearby destroyer USS Gravely geared up. M4S, body armor, flashbangs. These weren't diplomats, they were tactical strike teams trained to board fast and hit hard. Back on Ike, no rounds had been fired, but turrets were already tracking the skiff. Quiet, precise, lethal. The Gravely moved to a flanking position, a chess match at 35 knots. One skiff trying to outmaneuver two warships and a helicopter. Not a winning strategy. Overhead, the Seahawk's gunner gave one last warning. A short burst across the bow. A clear message: turn around or go down. The pirates hesitated. Too late. VBSS screaming, engine screaming. The first VBSS team boxed in the skiff from starboard. The second blocked their retreat. Lay down your weapons. Hands up. Do it now. Panic erupted. One pirate threw his AK overboard. Another froze. Smart choice. The ones who didn't? Let's just say the US Navy doesn't wait for a group vote. In less than 30 seconds, it was over. Weapons confiscated, pirates zip-tied, skiff secured and under tow. And the USS Eisenhower, it never stopped moving. Because aircraft carriers don't deal with threats alone. They bring an entourage that bites back harder. From the pirates' perspective, it was still just a big, slow ship. For the navies, it was two hostile contacts, and every asset was in motion. Oh, and that second skiff, the one that veered off, a drone tracked it 6 nautical miles out, idling near a suspiciously clean fishing vessel. Minutes later, a RHIB from the USS Mason swept in. 2 more pirates detained, 1 laptop seized, 1 very big mistake revealed. Back aboard Ike, operations never skipped a beat. F/818 Super Hornets still launched from the deck. Flight ops continued. Coffee brewed, but below deck, intelligence teams were dissecting everything. The RPG launcher scanned for origin. The sat phone dumped into a signal analyzer. Seahawk coordinates cross-reference with pirate smuggler route from Mogadishu to Bukala. A strange frequency stood out. It matched previous chatter, linked to an arms shipment from Eritrea. Bingo! This wasn't random, it was networked. And now, the data was flying up the chain. CENTCOM, AFRICOM, coalition partners, fusion centers in Bahrain and Djibouti. Because tomorrow's threat, it might not come with rusty AKs. It might come with drones. Or manpads. Or a bait ship designed to test carrier response. So no, the Navy doesn't just neutralize threats, study them. They map the entire swarm. And once the data is in, 3 words follow. Target package confirmed. By sunrise, the ocean looks calm again, but beneath that still water, everything had changed. What started as a sloppy pirate raid had triggered a multi-branch intelligence sweep across the region. Smuggler chatter dropped, suspicious radio signals went dark. Even the busiest sea lanes near Somalia held their breath. Because when the US Navy responds, they don't post warnings. They make examples. And as for those pirates, they finally realized the truth. They hadn't stumbled onto a cargo ship. They'd charged straight at the most heavily protected vessel afloat. And when a US Marine leaned in and said, "You know you pulled up on an aircraft carrier, right?" There was silence. Then, a mutter. Unofficially translated, probably something like, "Big mistake. Want to support our mission? Join the fleet. Get loyalty badges, priority replies, and help us bring more real naval stories to the surface. Hit join on our channel and step aboard." And hey, if you thought this breakdown was wild, intense, or straight up unbelievable, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Because out here, you never know what's coming next.